Good morning, Year 4. I wonder if some of you managed to log on to Michael Moore-Pergo's live lesson or live conference yesterday. I had a look. It was very interesting to listen to the person who actually writes these books. So well done if you did, and I'd like to hear back from you what you thought and what you found. Now, where are we with our story? Oh yes, he's in a cage, isn't he? And the Mr. Anthony has the king of it all has arrived. So we'll move straight on. I was expecting they'd come back for me at any moment, but it seemed like hours later. Hours during which I'd tried all I could to banish the fears inside me. I tried to think of home, of mum, of dad, of the farm. I tried to see everyone and everything clear in my head. I tried to imagine I was there with them, with grandpa on his tractor, with dad going to the football. If I was going to die, then I wanted these to be my last living thoughts. I had my eyes closed, and I was trying to stay deep in my thoughts when I heard them coming for me. Strong arms hauled me out, holding me fast by the elbows on either side. The little orangutans clung on tight to me wherever they could, as the men frog marched me away. Terrified though I was, it felt good to be upright again and moving, not cooped up. A crowd was following us, wild with excitement, jeering and whooping, more and more of them all of the time. I could see ahead of me now what they had in store for us. One of the hunters, the one with the red bandana again, was standing there beside the cookhouse, ready with a hose pipe, beckoning them to bring us closer. The crowd was all around us now, encircling us. I wasn't that worried when they first turned on the hose pipe. It looked harmless enough. In a way, I was even looking forward to it. It was going to be humiliating being hosed down like this in public, but at least it would be cooling. It would be refreshing. Then I saw there was a smile on the hunter's face, and I remember wondering why he was smiling. I realized what was going to happen too late. The jet of water hit me full in the chest with terrific force, sending me reeling back across the circle. I bent myself double, cradling the orangutans close to me, turning my back on the water, protecting them and me as best as I could. But there was no escape for them or for me. However much I tried to turn away from it, to dodge or duck or run, there was nowhere to run to. In the end there was only one thing I could do. I dropped to my knees and cowered there, trying to use my body to shield the screeching orangutans from the full blast of the water. This stinging torture seemed to go on forever, pummeling every part of me, all to the raucous delight of the crowd, until at last, mercifully, there was an end to it. I was dragged to my feet. Determined not to cry, not to betray any sign of fear, I faced down my grinning tormentor, pursing my lips, clenching my teeth to hold back the sobs that were rising inside of me. Hysterical in their pain and fear, the little orangutans squealed pitifully. I did what I could to comfort them, whispering to them all the while I was led away, but they were beyond consoling. Dressed in an immaculate white suit, Mr. Anthony sat there in his chair, waiting for me at the top of the veranda steps, his dark glasses glinting in the sun. At his feet lay the skin of the tiger, my tiger, Una's tiger. There was two large hunting dogs, one on either side of him, eyeing me from the top of the steps. Mr. Anthony waved his stick, and at once the guards let go of my arms. I looked around. There must have been hundreds of people standing there, hushed now into silence, watching, waiting. I saw Kaya outside his kitchen, wiping his hands on a cloth. Our eyes met for a moment, and I recognized the sympathy there. It reminded me that at least I had one friend in this place of horrors. That was something. It gave me hope. It gave me courage. "So, my little monkey boy," Mr. Anthony began, pointing his stick at me. He was making sure he was talking loud enough for everyone to hear. "You see what I did with this tiger? And I know what I'm going to do with those orangutans. But I'm still trying to work out what I'm going to do with you. Maybe I'll let you go, give you a head start, and then set my dogs on you. How would you like that? All I have to do is say the word, and they'd hunt you down and tear you into little pieces. That would be a whole lot of fun to watch." The crowd laughed at this, and I could see he liked it. He leaned forward. "Where did you come from, eh?" How did you get here? You got a mum and a dad? Or are you just a little English boy?" He chuckled at that. "Have you even got a name, monkey boy?" I did not answer. Mr. Anthony was enjoying himself. This was a performance, a power game for the benefit of the crowd. This man was toying with me, showing me and reminding everyone there who the master was, that Kea had told me so. Mr. Anthony was God here. I screwed myself up inside. I would be fearless as a tiger. I would make my voice sound out strong. I glanced at the dead tiger, and suddenly there was no room anymore for fear. The anger raging inside me drove all that way. It was my anger that was speaking out, not my courage. "I won't tell you my name, and I don't care what you do with me," I said. "You can't do me any more harm than you've done that tiger, can you? And it was you, wasn't it? Everyone here does what you tell them to. The hunters killed the orangutans. I saw them. They killed the tiger. But you are the real killer. Everyone here is afraid of you, but I'm not." The crowd were becoming unsettled. Clearly many of them had understood enough of the tone of what I had been saying to sense my defiance. Emboldened by this, I went on in full flow now. "Why do you do this? What for? Just for fun? Is it?" Mr. Anthony stood up, took off his dark glasses, slowly, menacingly, and then tucked them very deliberately into the top pocket of his jacket. He seemed to me more and more like a snake in human form, from his slicked down hair to his shining shoes. Everything was smooth and slithery. He even moved like a snake as he walked slowly up and down the veranda, glaring at me. I could feel his fury rising. I knew he was about to strike. I could feel the knot of terror growing in the pit of my stomach. I determined to try and keep it there, not to waver, but to stand tall and look this vile man in the eye and face him down, no matter what he said, no matter what he did. The little orangutans clung to me as tight as ever. I could feel their need. I knew how much they were relying on me now, and that helped keep me strong. "Quite the little firecracker, aren't we?" I had caught Mr. Anthony off guard, and that really bucked me up. I could tell he was trying to laugh it off, but it was a poor attempt. Anyone could see that he was seething with fury. "You're right, monkey boy. Everyone here does exactly what I tell them. And it's true. I killed the tiger. I killed the orangutans. I kidnapped those cutie-looking little orangutans you've got wrapped round you. I've killed dozens of tigers, kidnapped hundreds of little orangutans, and I tell you why. Sunshine, shall I?" With every word he spoke, he was becoming more and more worked up, more enraged. "Money, monkey boy. Do you know how much they pay me in Dubai or California for a tiger skin like that? $10,000. That's right, 10,000. And the Chinese, they pay a fortune for their insides, all their bits and pieces, tiger medicine. They swear by it. The Chinese have lots of money these days, believe you me. And as for those little orangutans of yours, I'll be selling every one of those blighters back in Jakarta. $5,000 apiece, just like that. They buy them as pets for their kids. Police officials, government officials, business people, anyone. I sell, they buy. It's what makes the world go round, sunshine." He brandished his stick. "You see that forest? You see it?" "I see it," I said. "So what?" "It's mine," he went on. "I own everything in it. I own all the trees, every leaf on every one of them. I cut them down whenever I feel like it. Trust me, they make very nice kitchen cabinets, and the finest floors, the finest doors all over the world. I sell them in Japan, in England too, in Australia, which is where I reckon you come from. Sorry, I sell them in Japan, in England, which is where I reckon you come from, and I sell them in Australia. That's the territory for me. But that's not the half of it. Thing is, I've got so many trees out there, I don't know what to do with them. And when I don't know what to do with them, do you know what I do? I'll tell you, sunshine, shall I? I burn them down, make great bonfires of the forest. And then what have I got? Land, lots of it. And what do I do with the land? I plant more trees, thousands of them, millions of them. Not the big fellows. No, they take hundreds of years to grow. I want money fast. So I grow palm trees to make palm oil. They grow fast, fast as grass. I can't grow enough of them. The whole world is screaming for palm oil. They put it in their toothpaste, their lipstick, their margarine, their cooking oil, their peanut butter. You like peanut butter, monkey boy? He didn't wait for an answer. He was ranting now, his eyes blazing at me. Palm oil! You like biscuits, monkey boy? Palm oil! You like chips? They cook them in palm oil, and it gets better too, sunshine. Heard of global warming, have you? Well, I like it. Yeah, I like it a whole lot. You see, on account of all this global warming, they want to save the planet, don't they? So now they're after palm oil to run their cars instead of petrol and diesel. All I do, monkey boy, is provide what the world wants. I'm just saving the planet. Oh yeah, and I'm saving people too. I pay them, I feed them, I house them. They come from poor villages where there's no work. They cut down the trees for me. They burn the forest. They plant the palm trees. They look for gold for me too, dig it out, and I sell it, like I sell everything else. That's why I'm just about the richest man in Jakarta. I've got 4 houses, 2 Ferraris, a garden bigger than a football pitch. Not bad, eh? And you know what money is, monkey boy? I'll tell you. Money is power. Now he was shaking his stick at me, a crazed look on his face and screaming at me. I could have you killed right now and no one would ever know. These people wouldn't say a dicky bird, not a word, because they know what would happen to them if they did. You see, I own them, body and soul, and they know it. They do what I say. If I told them to jump through hoops of fire, they'd do it. If I... Suddenly he paused. Now there's a thought, monkey boy, he said. He was coming down the veranda steps now. Then he was right up close to me, calmer now, but still breathless from all his ranting. He was so close that I could see the spittle on his lips. Talking of jumping through hoops of fire, I don't reckon I need to kill you after all. Hey, monkey boy, you are the lucky one. No, I've had such a much better idea, and the best kind of idea too, a money-making idea. I'll sell you. I've thought of just the right place for you. I know somewhere they'd pay good money for a monkey boy like you, no questions asked. There are circuses all over India where you could be quite the little star. I've sold orangutans to them. I can see it now. Up there in lights. Monkey boy. The only all-singing, all-dancing monkey boy in the whole wide world. Can you do a few tricks, cartwheels, handstands? Can you jump through hoops of fire? No? Well, can you dance? Can you sing? Go on, give us a song, sunshine. Do a little dance for us. I said nothing. Mr. Anthony leaned forward and whispered in my ear. You will dance, monkey boy. You will sing. I will have those cutie little orangutans killed right now, right in front of your eyes. Don't think that I won't. There's plenty more where they came from, I promise you. He stepped back. You hear me, monkey boy? Dance! I knew without a shadow of a doubt that this man meant every word he said, that I had to do what he said. I had no choice. So I closed my eyes and began to dance, shuffling awkwardly at first from foot to foot. Dance, little boy, dance! He yelled. I tried to let my body get looser so that I was swaying as well as shuffling, humming a little all the while now to a little orangutan's humming to help me dance. That's better, monkey boy. That's better. Give us a little turn. Mr. Anthony was laughing at me now, and when moments later began to clap, the whole crowd joined in, cheering and whooping as I danced about, keeping my eyes closed tight to shut out the humiliation of it all. I just wanted to get it over with, but Mr. Anthony wasn't finished with me yet. He was shouting at me, Now I want you to sing, monkey boy, sing! I sang the first song that came to my head. I sang it out as loud as I could, like I always did with Dad. I sang it with my eyes open, glaring up at him, looking at him full in the face, unflinching. It turned out to be just the right song to have chosen, because it kept me brave, and because I could sing it with real passion. And it was a song that transported me at once to another place, another time, so I could become another person altogether, so I could make believe I was not there, that it was not me, and this isn't me that it was happening to. Blue is the colour, football is the game, we're all together, and winning is our aim. Soon the whole crowd had fallen quiet. I could sense every one of them listening. This seemed to unnerve Mr. Anthony. He had suddenly had enough. He waved his stick to silence me at once. "So," he said, his thin smile thin-lipped and triumphant. "So, now you see how it is, monkey boy. You're just the same as them. They do what I say, you do what I say. You all jump through my hoops. It wasn't so bad, was it? I think you'll do very well in the circus in India. More to the point, you'll fetch me a mighty good price, too." Then he turned on his heel and walked back up the steps, wiping his feet on the tiger skin on the veranda. If he hadn't done that, and if he hadn't been so angered by it, I don't think I would have ever had the nerve to do it. I didn't think about it. I just began reciting the tiger poem at the top of my voice, very slowly, very deliberately, so that everyone in there and everyone in the crowd heard every word, so that those who could understand the words would understand, and those who couldn't would understand their meaning and my meaning from the tone of my voice. I was aiming every word at Mr. Anthony's back, and every word was an arrow of defiance. I had nothing to lose, and I wanted him to know just how much I despised him and everything he did. By the end of the first verse, Mr. Anthony had turned to face me. The whole camp, the forest itself, seemed silent and still. I went on right through the poem, word perfect, my gaze on Mr. Anthony never wavering until the last verse, when I looked away, because I felt the tears coming into my eyes then, and I did not want him to see them. I had eyes now only for the tiger. I spoke the last lines to him, and for him alone. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? When I'd finished, the crowd stayed hushed. I saw the same flicker of uncertainty on Mr. Anthony's face. It was a victory of sorts for me, for the little orangutans, for the tiger. I knew after all that had happened, and with all that was going to happen to us, this was only a little victory, but it meant a great deal to me all the same. It meant I had not surrendered, that I could at least hold my head high as I was led away through the crowd, back to our cage behind the cookhouse. And we'll leave it there. Brave boy. Let's hope he gets through that and gets justice for all the animals. Right, that's it for this week, and that's it for half term. So you'll have to wait a week to find out what happens, but I will be reading more again for you on the Tuesday after we come back. Okay, enjoy the rest of the day. Have a good rest. Let's hope the weather stays dry for us all through half term. Take care now. Bye-bye.